Hey beauties, welcome back. So there's something irresistibly seductive about a siren eye, but today we're softening the intensity for an effortless, smoky allure. But instead of using liquid eyeliner, I'm using a rich brown pencil to create a smudged, sultry wing that's much more flattering. It's softer, more wearable, and just hypnotic. So if you've ever wanted that lifted, elongated gaze without the harsh edges, this looks for you, so let's dive in. Mercier have released some shimmer versions of their Caviar eyeshadow stick. This is the shade Moonlight. It's my absolute favourite. It's like a metallic pewter shade. And I'm going to use the Rephr number 1 brush just to buff this over the eyelid. We're going for a very simple base. So work a small amount of this from the eyelash line up towards the socket. Don't overload the eye because again we are going to be really buffing this in. We want it to be slightly more transparent and just leave a subtle shimmer to the eye. I will create a look using this eyeshadow stick again where it's a little bit more intense because I feel like that payoff is beautiful and these really don't move. Having that subtle shimmer means it won't take away from the eyeliner, but it adds something to the eye. If you follow me on Instagram, this week you'll have noticed that I shared some swatches of 4 of the new shades that I received, and they're all absolutely beautiful. Some of the shimmers in them are more subtle, this one is more metallic, it packs more of a punch with the reflectiveness. Now traditionally the Siren eye is created with a liquid eyeliner for a very sharp defined finish. However, I am aware that not everybody can pull that off due to the shape of their eyes. However, this softer version makes it a little bit better for those of you that have slightly hooded eyes. The smudginess is more forgiving, and as long as you are applying this while you're looking directly straight into a mirror, you can definitely create a winged liner. It just means that when you look down you'll have a slight L shape, but don't let that deter you because as soon as you look straight ahead or you're looking at anybody else, all they're going to see is a seamless wing. This method is the easiest way to achieve that sultry lifted eye without the pressure of perfection. Now we've applied the eyeshadow to the top lid and our lower eyelash line, we're going to go in with this Seamless Eye Glide pencil by Eldridge in the shade Ground Coffee. If you want it slightly warmer, she also has Burnt Umber, and then if you want black, there's Black Treacle. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills number 3 brush because the bristles are tightly packed, so they're very dense, but the very tip of it is super thin and flat, so that means creating a liner with this is perfect. This enables us to swipe that eyeliner from where we've applied it to create a bit more of a sharper inner corner. I say sharp, this is still a softer version than using a liquid eyeliner, but we are creating definition because we are going for that siren eye. This is going to change the shape of your eye from being even more rounded or more almond to a more feline shape. So draw a line along your tear duct area like I'm doing here. Take that liner brush, pull the colour backwards towards your eyelashes. And then at the front, pull that eyeliner forward to create more of a sharp point. Don't forget to also take the colour upwards to frame your upper waterline, keeping it at the root, so work between the eyelashes. You can see using an eyeliner pencil is definitely more forgiving. There is precision there, but it's softer. And the reason I've chosen the Eldridge pencils is because these don't budge, so you have that working time, but once they're in place, they don't move. Now this part's important to look straight into a mirror in front of you. Start your eyeliner on the outer third of your top lash line and then use the side of your brush to start manipulating the pencil to pull it outwards directly in a horizontal line to create a winged shape. Now it's important that if you have a crease in this outer corner, you're still going to go directly over the crease in a seamless line. Now don't worry that when you look down there'll be a gap. It's important not to fill this gap in, it's supposed to be there so that when you look up, your line is completely seamless. If you look down and try to fill in this space, then when you look up, it will distort your perfect shape. At the moment, that isn't necessarily a problem for me. This eye is slightly more hooded than my other eye. I have 2 different eye shapes, so I do have to work slightly different with each eye. But again, for me, I just look straight into a mirror and make sure that I'm going directly in a horizontal line on the top half. And on the outer corner of the eye, you can see it lifts upwards to create a very sharp triangle on the outer edge. And then I'm using the very tip of my brush to soften it because the lower half of the eyeliner can be nice and sharp, but we'd like the top half of the eyeliner to be slightly softer. For this I'm going to film it front on so that you can see one at a side angle and one front on, and hopefully this will be beneficial. I'm taking that pencil and I'm filling in the outer third of the eye, making sure I drag the pencil out in a horizontal line so it's perpendicular to the highest point of the lid, which is directly in line with my pupil. Turning my brush on its side, so I'm using the side of the brush, I'm pulling the colour outwards in the direction that I want to drag that pencil out. So we're not using the pencil tip to create the wing, instead we're using the residual pencils on the lid and using that brush to drag the colour out. Now we have the shape, I'm using the very tip of the brush to start working along the top of the eyeliner to soften it. Have some paper towel handy so that you can rub the bristles onto it to remove any residual product in those bristles, so that when you start working and buffing along the very top of the eyeliner, you're not applying any more residual product. Instead, you're just softening that line. Using the very tip of the bristles where it's flattest, you can see how crisp you can get that line. So if you do have hooded eyes, once you get past the crease, here you can really create a bit more definition to your winged liner. Next, I'm taking that pencil and taking it along the waterline, but only a third of the way along, so that we're leaving a gap in the very centre of the lower lash line. I'm also going to tightline with that all the way along the top lash line. So I'm going to blink onto the top of the pencil and very gently coat the entire upper waterline. Again, this pencil is smudge proof and transfer proof, so if you want to keep that lower line clean, you can do. I will show you later what it looks like filled in. If you're new to doing your upper waterline, it might feel slightly alien. You can also use your ring finger to lift your eyelid upwards to expose the top lash line, and then look down into a mirror, and then that way you'll be able to coat it as well. Just do whatever feels most comfortable for you. Here I am just giving my eyelashes a good curl, and then we're going to move on to mascara. I'm using this new one by Mercier. It's the Caviar Extravagant Mascara. The wand itself is relatively small, which is quite nice, especially if you have smaller eyes. And although it looks like a cylindrical wand, it's actually more triangular. You just can't see it at this angle. So I guess that's been designed for coating all the lashes. I don't know, all brands try to do something that's a little bit different. I quite like it, it doesn't flake, it does give you volume. It held my lashes well, it stayed in place all day, and it was easy to take off. I took it off just with water. I always like to do that as a test to see what it's like. So I've gone ahead and put a lick of mascara on my top lashes and my lower eyelashes. Now don't worry if you do happen to get any on your eyelid, allow it to completely dry and then use a cotton bud or a dry brush like I'm using here, just to knock off the excess product. It's very easy to remove. So you can leave your Siren eyes like this. Having that little gap with no liner on the centre is very pretty. It also prevents the eyes looking small like they can do when you apply eyeliner all the way across. But obviously I like to give you options, so I'm going to apply it all the way across and show you how it looks completely framed. This will make the look slightly more smoky, and it further enhances that feline finish to the eyes. I'm going to take 4 or 5 of these individual spiky lashes on each eye, just on the outer third, and this will help to enhance the winged shape but also that slightly lifted look. And because there are going to be little gaps between them, and there's only 4 or 5 on each eye, it won't overwhelm the eye or look heavy. You'll be able to see through them. It's just going to create a bit more of a feline finish to the eyes, which I think is so pretty. Also, this little set of lashes cost about £3 for the entire pack. It's super cheap and super affordable. See, as you can see, there's only a few on each eye and it's really pretty. Just enhancing the outer half with a little bit more volume and length helps with that winged shape. I also lay these down at a very slight subtle angle because it creates more of a sweeping effect. I didn't actually film in studio a full face shot, but I did grab one on my mobile just so you guys can quickly see roughly what this looks like. Very Siren, very feline. All the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. Hit the subscribe button if you are new to my channel, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to come back to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys!